demonstrations largely organized by the youth from the Gen Z generation to mark the protest against the 2024 finance bill have raised concerns about possible unrest in the capital and beyond. Speaking during an event to empower women in church choirs in Borabu constituency, Nyamira County, Speaker of the National Assembly Moses Wetangula joined other senior leaders in calling for calm and national unity. The leaders emphasized that Kenya is currently on a path to economic recovery and cannot afford to destabilize by violence or political agitation.
Na wale ambao wanataka kuleta uadui katika siasa, tunawaambia waache hiyo story. Kwa hivyo mtu yeyote akitaka kuchezea amani yetu, we shall defend it with each and every ounce of energy that we have. Babu, amani has no alternative in our country. Nasema kule Nairobi, wale ambao wanaleta furugu na kuharibu biashara ya watu, tunawakemea. People struggle to build lives. Mtu ana duka moja kidogo, ako hapa na stoko yake ya 1,100, mnaleta furugu, vijana wanakuja, wananyakua yote, wanaenda. Insurance hailipi, mambo ya fujo. So you have crippled somebody who has struggled so much to be somebody. Ndio tunasema nchi yetu hii, hata mapolisi wetu, we can't use an incident of one policeman to condemn the entire police force.
Tunasikia ya Wednesday ya kusema ya kwamba kuna watu wanapanga mikutano ya kukuwa na vita. Sisi kama jamii ya Omogusi, sisi ni watu tunapenda kuchapa kazi, si ndio? Hatutaki pali ambapo watu wanapigana. Vijana wenzangu, nataka kuwaeleza tafadhali, msikubali kutumika vibaya, si ndio?
Kupanga uchochezi last year watu wakaumia. Sasa hivi nasikia mmejipanga tena kupanga uchochezi next week Nairobi, ati mseme ya kwamba wa Kenya sijui hawa wachapane na hawa, wachapane na hawa, muibie watu maduka. Tunawaambia this time it will not be business as usual. Sasa mmepanga vita. Every day you are holding meetings kupanga juu ya next week. Ati Wednesday, ati kutakuwa na vita Nairobi. Ati mtazunguka Nairobi muibie watu maduka. Ati mtazunguka Nairobi muibie watu masimu zao. Mnatumika na ule mtu mmoja wa koti kubwa. Mnakutumika na ule mtu mmoja ambaye hana heshima kwa mtu yeyote. Saa hii ana invest in violence.
Church leaders from the Catholic and Anglican churches in Kenya have spoken out strongly against police brutality and the misuse of security agencies in the country. Catholic Archbishop Philip Anyolo condemned gangs allegedly operating under police protection to disrupt youth protest in Nairobi, describing these acts as a serious threat to the right to protest and citizen security. Meanwhile, Anglican bishops from Nyanza, led by Dr. David Kodia, have called on the government to disband the Director of Criminal Investigation, that is the DCI, accusing the agency of becoming an instrument of oppression and intimidation.
Picketing or whatever it is, demonstrations, that they are held in a manner that it will bring profit, it will bring goodness, it will bring success to those even who are doing, without killings and without hurting anybody, because it causes a lot. Again, the parents of those children are mourning. They lost them. Not only this one's here, but all along the history when this business began. We ask again that it should not be happening, and let us stop it. And even the one that is going to take place, if it will at all, on the 25th, we want it to be done in a manner that we know and we understand what we are doing, and the people who are doing it also gain the fruit and gain the reasons what they are doing as such. The police and the goons are a bad precedent, a bad precedent for any government, for any people who are living together, because you are learning people to arming people so that they may also arm with themselves with whatever they can arm. Because regarding those big sticks, you can get another stick also for anybody to have to use it. And in the long run, they will be looking for gun.
Has come that a body like the DCI should be phased out. It has become a dreaded unit used by those in power to harass Kenyans. I has failed Kenyans, and it is seen as a toothless dog that can't bite, but can talk louder enough to confuse the nation that it is working. Let all machineries of the state that are funded by the taxpayers be allowed to do their work without interference.
Our police, please come to terms with the fact that many Kenyans are cursing you every day because of your heartless and callous manner of dealing with the members of the public. And in this kind of behavior that has led into radicalization of our youth as they strive to resist this totalitarianism and its very many manifestations.
Right, moving on to the corridors of justice. A police officer, James Mukwana, has been ordered to be detained for 21 days to allow for a thorough investigation into allegations related to the murder of blogger Albert Ojwang. The order was granted on June 3rd of 2025 by the court following a request from the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, that is the IPOA. The court ruled that there were sufficient grounds to deny Mukwana his liberty under Article 24, Section 1E of the Constitution. In delivering the ruling, Judge Robinson Ondiegi issued a stern warning against protests that lead to harm caused by rogue police officers and criminals on innocent civilians. Judge Ondiegi also underscored the urgent need for reforms within the police service, urging Parliament and the Senate to amend laws to better reflect the current realities and challenges facing law enforcement.
G and H, 49(1), G and H of the Constitution, arrested persons must be brought to court within 24 hours. And when they come to court, 4 things happen. Number 1, this person may be charged. Number 2, this person may be told the reasons of continued detention. For example, for the purposes of completing investigations before the decision is made whether to charge or not. Or, for example, the person is being taken for mental assessment before he faces the charge in court. And number 3, what happens? This person may be released. That means the court might see there is no reason for this person to be in custody and will be released unconditionally. The delegate complained that there was continuous false publication about him. So he launched the complaint to the DCI on the 4th of June. And the DCI on the 4th of June assigned this case to the department which is known as Serious Crimes Department. And the police officers were assigned to handle this case. On the 7th, they traveled to Leader Center in Homa Bay. They picked Albert, the deceased, from the parents and his family, and they took him to Mawego police station where he was booked in at 2:30 p.m. on that day. And later in the evening at 3:54 p.m. he was removed out, and according to what I had the IO say, taken to Central Police Station and booked in at around 9:32 p.m. At around 1:45 a.m., a lifeless body in a pool of blood and unresponsive was found in the cells.
Right, moving on to some sad story now. Grief and anger gripped the Mweki area of Kasarani on Friday following the brutal rape and murder of 18-year-old Abigail Wanjiko, prompting violent protest and calls for justice. According to initial reports, the heinous crime occurred around 8 p.m. on Thursday night while Abigail was alone in their home. Her mother, who works nearby in Mweki Phase 3, told the media that her daughter had earlier brought her food and a sweater. When she returned home later that evening, she found her daughter lying on the floor in a pool of blood. According to the DCI Kasarani preliminary reports, Abigail had been raped, stabbed multiple times, and assaulted with a blunt object. The report indicates she sustained 5 stab wounds to the stomach and 1 to the neck. A blood-stained kitchen knife believed to have been used in the attack was recovered at the scene. Investigators also found a frying pan suspected to have been used to bludgeon her. Now the teenager's body was moved to the Kenyatta National Hospital morgue as police launched an investigation into the shocking crime.
Mtoto amemaliza form 4 last year. Imagine huyo mtoto ametoka kupelekea mama yake chakula hapa kwa mama yake anauzaga hapa sausage hapa nje kwa barabara. Mtoto anatoka hapa saa 2 ya usiku kuletea mama yake chakula. Mtoto mdogo, mtoto hana shughuli na mtu.
Nilikuwa nimemwambia niletee sweta kwa job. Sasa kuja tukaongea, akaniambia akasema ataenda kwa nyumba. Nikamwambia ni sawa. Mimi nafunga job saa 5. Venye nirudi kwa nyumba nimpata kama amelazwa huko chini kama ameuawa.
Right, quite unfortunate story right there. We hope that justice will be served. Moving on, Machakos Town Member of Parliament Caleb Mulei has called on President William Ruto to immediately dismiss Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja and his deputy Eliud Lagat, citing alleged failures in leadership within the National Police Service. Speaking during a public event in Mwanyani, the legislator accused the top police bosses of presiding over force that has repeatedly violated human rights, particularly during the youth-led Gen Z protest and in connection with the controversial death of blogger Alberto Juang. Mulei argued that the Inspector General of Police and his deputy have not only failed to protect citizens, but have also allowed rampant abuse of power, including excessive use of force and unlawful killings by police officers.
Mimi kama mbunge wa Machakos na laani kabisa vitendo zile askari wanafanya kwa hii Kenya. Askari uwezi chukua bunduki uanze kupiga mchuuzi, mtu ambaye hana bunduki, hana chochote cha kukuhami na unampiga risasi. Hiyo kama mbunge wa Machakos, hiyo na lahani kabisa. Na hao wachukuliwa hatua. Na pia huyu mkubwa wa polisi anaitwa Lagat. Lagat, wewe ndio ulikuwa complainant wa mtoto ambaye aliuawa kwa sel za Kenya. Kwa nini ulichukua muda mrefu kuresign? Ungekuwa umeondoka kwa kiti kwa sababu mikono yako ni chafu, imejaa damu. Wewe ndio ulikuwa complainant wa mtoto anaitwa Ojwang, akatolewa huko Homa Bay. Kwa nini alikuwa analetwa kutoka Homa Bay mpaka Nairobi? Huko Homa Bay hakuna cells, hakuna polisi. Kwa hivyo step aside, lakini tunataka uresign. You pave way and good way for investigation, ili tujue ni kina nani hao walihusika, kwa sababu wewe ndio complainant, wewe ndio uliwapatia hiyo instructions wa kuua mtu. Hiyo yote ndio tunataka kujua. Na hao CS wote ambao wako hapo, kina Talam na hao wengine wote wakuwe responsible. Uwezi letewa mfungwa na kwa seli yako na atoke akiwa maiti. Alifanya nini hapo ndani? Hapa rais wetu ambaye tunampenda sana, William Samoei Ruto, watu ambao wanaharibu jina na wanaharibu serikali, usishite kuweka kando.
Right, moving on, Mandera County Commissioner Henry Ochako has announced the immediate suspension of all quarry activities in the region, citing security concerns following recent attacks by suspected Al-Shabaab militants. Speaking to the media on Thursday, Ochako confirmed that the decision was made as a precautionary measure to safeguard the lives of quarry workers and local residents amid rising insecurity in the area. Mandera County, which borders Somalia, has long been vulnerable to cross-border militant activity. The attack in April, which claimed 5 lives, sent shockwaves through the region and renewed fears over the safety of workers in remote areas such as the quarries. Now, authorities believe the attacks are part of an ongoing campaign by Al-Shabaab militants targeting non-local workers and infrastructure projects aiming to destabilize the region and disrupt economic activities.
Jina naitwa Henry Ochako, ndio County Commissioner Mandera. Kwa niaba ya kamati ya usalama Mandera County, ningependa kutangaza kwamba quarrying activities zote katika Mandera County zimekuwa suspended till further notice kwa sababu ya vile visa ambao tumekuwa tukiona vikitokea mara kwa mara. Tarehe 29 mwezi wa 4 tulikuwa na attack ilikuwa imetokea huko quarry inaitwa Burabor, ambao tulipoteza Wakenya ambao walikuwa wanafanya kazi huko kwa quarries 5. Halafu siku ya Jumatatu wiki hii tukawa kwamba kuna quarry worker mmoja aliuliwa huko upande wa Elwak. Pamoja na hayo, leo tukapata habari kwamba kuna quarry workers ambao ni non-locals wawili wamekuwa kidnapped na suspected Al-Shabaab operatives. Kwa hivyo na hivyo visa vyote na ile habari ya intelligence tunapokea kwamba hawa wamekuwa wakiulizia juu ya operations ya quarries katika kaunti hii, tumeonelea kama kamati ya kwamba lazima hizo kazi ya kuchimba mawe katika quarries isimamishwe mpaka wakati ule tumetosheka kwamba kamati za usalama za sub counties wakishirikiana na wenye hizo quarries na wafanyikazi wa quarries wameweka mikakati ambayo inafaa kuhakikishia usalama wale ambao wanafanya kazi katika hizo quarries, ndio tuweze kufungua hiyo kazi ya kufanya kujimbaji wa mawe katika quarries. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio habari tungependa kupea wananchi wetu wa Mandera, kwa sababu tunajali maslahi na maisha ya wafanyikazi wote wa quarries, wawe ni locals ama wawe ni non-locals. Hatutaki mtu yoyote aumie, tunataka tuhakikishie wote usalama wao.
Moving on to the corridors of justice, Milimani locals have ordered the immediate release of digital rights activist and software expert Rose Njeri after finding that the charges against her were without legal basis. The ruling was delivered by Senior Principal Magistrate Geoffrey Onsarigo, who declared that Njeri's arrest and prosecution under the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act of 2018 lacked merit. Njeri had been facing charges of unauthorized access to computer systems after allegedly creating a public website that allowed citizens to submit their views on the proposed 2025 finance bill. The prosecution claimed this was a breach of cybersecurity laws. However, in a decisive ruling, the court found that Njeri's action were lawful and amounted to a legitimate exercise of her constitutional right to public participation.
Upon perusal of the entire Section 16 of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act, vis-a-vis the particulars of the offense, I hereby proceed to discharge the suspect, that is Rose Njeri Tungulu, under Section 89(5) of the Criminal Procedure Code.
Right now, let's get sporting. Police FC have officially been crowned the 2024-2025 FKF Premier League champions, securing the coveted title ahead of their final league match against Gor Mahia. The historic win marks a major milestone for the law enforcement-backed club, which has enjoyed a remarkable season under head coach Etienne Ndayiregije. Now, with consistent performances throughout the campaign, Police FC outspaced strong contenders like Gor Mahia and Tusker FC, clinching the title with a game to spare. Speaking in post-match interviews, striker Clinton Kinanga credited teamwork and discipline for the club's success. Midfielder Kenneth Muguna, a former Gor Mahia player, expressed pride in helping the team reach new heights. Head coach that is Etienne, who joined the club at the start of the season, has praised for his tactical acumen and ability to bring out the best in his squad.
I think first thing naweza sema imekuwa hii ni history because all the time tumekuwa NSL for around 6 to 7 years, na on the stage tukiwa tunatapanda tulisema one day one time tutachukua ligi, but hatukuwa tunajua itakuwa less than 4 years because kwa NSL tulikaa sana, but tulikuwa na ambition tukipanda tupande ligi then tukue watu wa kutafuta ligi pia ya KPL kuchukua.
First of all, nashukuru Mungu. Najua tumekuwa na season ngumu sana, but I think sisi wenyewe ndo tunaweza kuwa ma tough opponent and sisi wenyewe ndio tunafanya hii ligi kwa rahisi. I think tulivyokuja we had like 5 game in hand. I think we didn't take those games seriously. Na tukaperform vibaya, but I think baada hapo we had a meeting wachezaji na tukaamua, and I think hiyo ndio ilitusaidia because before hata wakubwa wakuja manani we had our meeting si wenyewe na tukaongea na tukaanza kuperform after that. I think
is the toughest season nimecheza kwa career yangu because ukiangalia every team walikuwa na quality hadi wenye wako pale chini, na ndio bado ukiangalia hadi sasa bado hatujui bado teams gani zitashuka, na hata sisi tumewin 2 ligi recently, so ukiangalia ni ligi imeenda until to the wire.
So I found a good team, well established with good talent inside, but also with the officials who has the vision. So it was easy to understand each other, to push. But all in all, we prayed that it's God's blessing. So we thank God. Yeah. First of all, was to understand that it's possible. It was in our head. The mentality has to change, that to believe that we are winners, because we had last season we are in Confederation. We won, I think, more that. So it was easy for me to remind them that they can be better than what they were they were. So they understood. We worked on it. Thank God for it.
Ametengea uzuri Dante Davidi Irishura.
Right, moving on, the national women's football team, Harambee Starlets, are setting their sights on their next challenge against Tanzania in the ongoing CECAFA Senior Women's Championships following a solid victory over South Sudan. In a post-match interview after the win, head coach Bedlin Odemba expressed satisfaction with her team's performance and praised the players for their discipline and teamwork. The Starlets displayed dominant form against South Sudan, showcasing tactical awareness and strong coordination, with coach Odemba attributed to intense preparation and growing team chemistry. The upcoming match against Tanzania is expected to be a high-stakes encounter as both teams are among the tournament favorites. The Starlets are now keen on maintaining their momentum and securing a spot in the knockout stage of the regional tournament.
We're here to rewrite history. We're here to make sure that we can even give a better performance than we gave in the last CECAFA in 2019. So we are preparing the girls and they're ready for every match. We've taken one match at a time, so one to go, and we're hoping for the best. It's a good win. It's not a very big win, but it's a good win. It's good for us that so far we have the maximum points, 9 out of 9. It's a good thing for us. I thank them that they gave their best, especially in the second half. In the first half, we didn't have so good energy, but in the second half, they showed up. It's football. You never know about the results, but we are preparing well. We are preparing for the last match, and we are hoping for the best. Teams have improved very much. You can see there's good competition in CECAFA region, and I'm glad that women football is growing in CECAFA region. We hope that in the next CECAFA, maybe it should be soon, or should be yearly, and we also hope to see other countries from the region.
All right, we're now up to speed. Those making headlines in the world of sports, and as well what's making headlines across our 47 counties and of course across the borders. It is exactly 31 minutes past the top of the hour. That's not to wrap up our bulletin here on EBN Weekend Edition. Many thanks, of course, keeping us company until now. Sign language interpreter has been Laura Omondi. My name is Macharia, signing off. Do have yourself a good night, and as always, let's do this again when God says we do.